Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Intro to Microeconomics at Ozarka College. This morning what I'd like to do is give just a little bit of feedback on the activities that I've graded so far this semester, specifically the chapters 1 and 2 activities that I finished grading earlier this week. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've got coming up due in really a couple of days, the chapters 3 and 4 activities. Okay, so first thing is that introduce yourself discussion we did the first week of class. I thought that went really well. I really enjoyed meeting everybody, and it was really nice to kind of learn a little bit more about each one of you. So that's good. I think we'll have a really good semester. I think we'll have a really good class this semester, so I'm looking forward to it. Like I said just a minute ago, I did finish grading the chapters 1 and 2 activities earlier this week. If you haven't already looked at your grades for those activities and read the corresponding grading comments, go ahead and do that as soon as possible. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm hoping most of you have already done that, but if you haven't, go ahead and do that just as soon as possible. When I grade assignments for this class, I'm usually going to provide you quite a bit of feedback when I do have to count points off. I'm going to tell you exactly what answer I was looking for, or maybe what specific part of the one particular part of the assignment that you may have overlooked and not really answered. And so hopefully as you're reading the grading comments, it'll give you a lot of information as far as things that you need to kind of keep in mind for the next set of activities. But if you do ever have questions about anything that I've included in the feedback, just let me know and I'll be glad to elaborate or help you in any way I can. Okay. Overall, most of you did well on the chapters 1 and 2 assignment. Most of you are putting the time and effort in, and I really appreciate that. And so keep up the good work on that. There were a few of you that did not submit the activities for some reason. If you're still having problems getting your textbook, or you're having some other problems that are preventing you from getting that first set of activities submitted, let me know that. Contact me and let me know through course mail. And I'll be glad to work with you on that first set of activities, because I know, obviously, with the snow days that we had, or the snow week that we had, it kind of threw everything off a little bit. So, and it kind of made it more difficult, I realize, to get your book and get started, on your classes and so forth. So, if you're still having those kinds of issues, let me know so that I can help you. Okay. Let's see. Most of you did well on the chapters 1 and 2 discussion, and I really enjoyed reading everyone's comments. Just to refresh your memory, the chapters 1 and 2 discussion dealt with the use of vending machines in Japan to help solve economic problems like labor shortages and labor cost. And we had several questions where we were able to kind of reply about some various things that were related to that. And I think it definitely tied in closely with the concepts that we learned about in chapters 1 and 2. Things like resources and opportunity cost and scarcity, which is the basic economic problem that kind of lays the framework for everything else in economics, because it forces us to make decisions and so forth. We learned about trade-offs. So basically, like I said, that chapters 1 and 2 discussion I thought went really well. Like I said, I really did enjoy reading everyone's comments, and I really appreciate everyone's participation on that discussion. Hopefully we'll have some similar participation on the remaining discussions. I always enjoy the discussions for this class, because I think it really allows us to kind of take the concepts from the chapters that we're learning about and actually apply it to a real world situation. Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward to the remaining discussions that we have this semester. The chapters 1 and 2 objective test, most of you did well on that, but just as a reminder, you can take that test as many times as you want to up until the due date. You can use whatever learning resources you want. So my recommendation there to be successful on that is to take your time, allot yourself a good amount of time to be working on each one of those tests. And if you don't do well the first time, just keep taking it until you have a grade that you're satisfied with. And also as a reminder, those chapter tests will be one of the main resources that you'll use to study for the midterm and final. I'll be opening up those chapter tests later on in the semester when we get closer to the midterm and final exams. I'll be opening those up for you for review. So kind of keep that in mind as well. Those chapter tests are really designed to get you ready for those that midterm and final exam. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. Let's see. And that brings us to our next set of activities. So if we go to the activities page in MyOzarka, right now we're on week 3 of the semester, and you'll notice we have those chapters 3 and 4 activities are all due by Friday of this week. So you've got a couple more days to be working on those. Hopefully you've already gotten started on those, but if you haven't, I would definitely get started today and be working through those activities. Again, they're due Friday, February 2nd. So, and by the way, Chapter 3 deals with economic decision makers. So, in Chapters 1 and 2, remember we learned about scarcity and opportunity cost and the need, because resources are scarce and our wants are unlimited, it forces us to make economic decisions. And we make tons of economic decisions every day, not really even thinking about it. And so in Chapter 3, we're going to learn about those 4 groups of decision makers in the economy, including households, firms, the government, and then the rest of the world. Because obviously this is a global economy. We're not just looking at just the U.S. economy. We also trade with other countries, so we need to look at decision makers in those other countries as well. So you're going to learn about each of those 4 types of decision makers and the types of decisions that they typically make. All right, and then in Chapter 4, this is the chapter where we introduce demand and supply and how demand and supply creates markets for goods. Okay, and again, it basically, demand and supply is just a way for us to kind of take what is very complicated in economic reality and simplify it by just looking at a couple of variables at a time. And we can kind of show how these various decision makers, how they make decisions based on demand and supply. And so these chapters 3 and 4 are really going to lay the groundwork, the framework for everything else that we're going to talk about this semester. So it's very important that you understand the concepts in these chapters. So as you're working on the activities for these chapters, if you run into any problems or if you have a question, let me know and I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. All right? Make sure that you're making use of all the learning resources that are available to you. All right? Remember, you have the videos, you have the textbook, you have the PowerPoint slides that are available on the assignment page. So you have a lot of learning resources available to you, and I would definitely make use of each one of those. All right? And so just take your time on these activities. Don't try to rush through it because you probably won't do well if you just rush through it. Take your time. Use the learning resources that you have. And let me know if you have questions. Again, one other thing I want to make everybody aware of, or just to remind everybody of, make sure that you're answering each part of each question thoroughly on the assignment and make sure you use your own words. Okay, that's very, very important. We want to keep the integrity, academic integrity of our course. Okay, so just make sure that you're paying attention to that. So that's really all I have for you for today. So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you.